It's gonna be a live, so it's gonna be very technical. Usually, what I do is I just do the beat live, uh, and do all the boring stuff. But and then usually when I post a live, I'll just show you the broadcast, the finished beat. But in this session, since it's been so long, I'm just gonna let you sit along and see the whole process. And I'll try to be descriptive as I can. But yeah, without further ado, gonna start out with some claps. I already had a tempo for about there's some automation on the tempo here, so we're gonna delete that. Delete automation on the tempo. About 108, 108 and a half tempo beats per minute. I got my favorite Max for live instrument, and it's a secret weapon, but if you don't know what it is, go for Max for live and get some tools from there. We got Palmas, crazy clap machine. I think it's free too on top of that. So we're gonna lay these claps in. Let's see if that made it in there. I don't think they even got in there. Press B, get rid of the pen. I don't think those recorded correctly. Just gonna lay those in again. Set it to all inputs. All MIDI inputs gonna be sent there. Using a Rolly gear. Rolly and Lumi. Killer setup. Got some claps in there laid. We'll go ahead and quantize those to a strict fourth. And on this particular instrument, percussion instrument, it kind of randomizes the claps. So even if I uh, quantize them strictly, then they randomize themselves in terms of timing. I'm gonna freeze that track right now, and then we're gonna bounce that down. We're gonna flatten this track, and as you see, we got a waveform here. I'm gonna rename this track claps, and continue to modify that clap. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in and shift these claps over a little bit. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. Zoom in on this waveform. I forgot the key command, but hold down Control or Command, slide them over. Hold down Control, lets you move regions that are not snapped to the grid. So you can just move it freely without it being according to the grid. Sounds pretty good to me. So got these claps here. Shout out to D Love, Charlie O, Marcus Made Beats, and the rest of the family. Runner. New Runner joint coming soon too, by the way. So I'm going to the waveform. I'm going to reduce the transients. I'm going to reduce the tail end of that waveform, audio waveform, in a way that doesn't have that much decay. To a value of about 55. And what I like to do, a little technique I like to do is duplicate them. Duplicate it, then shift it over, then stereoize them. Take this first clap, put it at the end. And then now I'm gonna group these, subsequently group these clap channels. I'm gonna pan them hard left, hard right. And I do that, and then I group them. And what that does is it just creates a stereo effect of the same shit, but they're gonna be randomized. Have a human that's gonna humanize them and make it sound like it's a group of people clapping. They're already pretty clustered up, so it doesn't require too much spatial enhancement. And so let's see here. Got a couple views on here. I hope you see what I'm doing with this interface. Now the thing about this interface, this graphical user interface on here, the one you're seeing, Instagram restricts me to a 19:6 ratio, so you can only see a very cell phone sized view of what I got going on. So it's going to be kind of hard to look at the screen, what I'm doing in my DAW, in the DAW image. But hey, trying to do the best we can here. It's definitely more of an in-depth approach rather than just sitting the phone up. And so we're going to hear how that sounds. We're definitely going to select these waveforms and then increase the transient value decay by a few notches. So we got a few on here that sound great. I think the first 3 claps sound great. So I'm going to duplicate these according to the grid. And then truncate this down a little bit. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bounce this shit. We're going to group these. Then we're going to do the ever eternal bounce. In fact, I'm going to take this group and I'm going to create a new audio channel and feed it from the group that we just created of claps, called group. I'm going to name this audio track, so when we print these claps, it's going to just be a stereo waveform of a pre-named region. So we're going to name this claps, and then we're going to bounce it down right now. Once I do this, I'll have no need for that original take. Print this right now. And I can modify that later. Kind of bled over a little bit, but that's okay. So we got this waveform. I'm going to get rid of this whole group, entire group. And I like to keep my sessions clean, so I'll go into the file and then I'm going to do a shout out to Charlie O. Do a soft save. save the set, this Ableton Live set. What we're going to do is we're going to manage the files, and then we're going to go to manage project. With the manage project is going to read all the audio files that are involved in this session. And what I'm going to do is immediately clean all of the unnecessary waveforms as I go. So I have a nice clean file. It doesn't take up too much space on the hard drive. I like cleaning up as I go. You know, it's like cooking, man. You know, you wash dishes as you go, you know. It's kind of like mama seasoning right there, man. Like Kwame Brown. Mama seasoning. So we're going to go into the project. We're going to press select unused files. Shows us all the unused files. Going to locate. Excuse me. I'm going to go to try that again. File, manage files. Go to the right, manage project. Then what we're going to do is get a better view of what's going on. We're going to show all of the recordings that we had in here that we're not using. So this file right here, another quick soft save just in case. And then I'm going to show all of the unused files. When you click on the unused files and it says show, it's going to show it to the left area right here. Can select them. Then I'm going to delete. Simply delete. So do we want to do it for real? Yeah, delete. And we do that concurrently with all these other files that we've generated that we know we're not going to use. Delete them. Similar to other DAWs. We should go down the line of the unused file section. We don't need these files anymore. So we got all these files cleaned up at the session. Do a collect and save all option. And you know, this sounds pretty boring, but if you guys follow some of these methods, man, it'll make your session, make your computer just, you save space over time. So now we got the clap. Now I might go back in. And then I'm going to double click on that region, and then I'm going to do the same procedure as reducing, truncating the files a little bit. Down to it. I did it again. So I'm going to freeze the track once again. Now I believe in printing and bouncing, printing and bouncing. Now we printed and bouncing. I'm not going to do that erase unused files until I gather a bunch of unused files again while I'm working. But now we got the claps in there so far, nice and clean. Hey, what the hell? We're gonna throw a plug-in on. Some fun plug-ins here, buddy. No cracks on the system anymore. Well, except one, perhaps. I don't know. But I'm going here and find an effect to throw on here. Plug in the lines. Don't slap. So a little bit aggressive on this. Got the Acme Opticom XLA. We got a leveling amplifier compressor. Thingamabob. Increase the input gain. We're fucking around with it till I hear it. Gonna reduce it down to a reduction gain of like maybe 2 dB on the meters. Turn the output gain up. We see some yellow. What we're doing is leveling out all these claps so the lower ones sound louder, and they're all in the same range of amplitude. Then we're gonna print that again because I don't want to waste resources. So I'm gonna print this track. Bam. Taking an awfully long time. Okay, there we go. I was about to say. All right. Flattened it. Now, we got these claps are a lot more manageable. I spend a lot of time on those claps, but that counts, man, when you're cooking. Just cooking up. A lot of guys just want to slap a beat in and start getting going. It depends. I'm very meticulous about my sound. I want it to damn near be mastered and mixed when I'm done. Shout out to Dark Shadow, man. We're gonna start bouncing 2 tracks down on you rappers, man, because you know, if you don't like it as is, then so what? Nothing negative, but we're gonna stop wasting time with you guys and start just giving you 2 tracks. You're not even gonna get stems anymore. Let me see here. So I'm just cooking this up live for y'all. I don't care how long it takes. But we got the claps. Now it's time for a snare. So I'm gonna go in my find a drum here. Let's see. Control Shift T for a MIDI track. Create a new one. I'm gonna go with the Rolly. I heard it. No, you know what? You know what? We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna create Command T, and then we're gonna create snare. Name this snare. We're gonna find a fun snare from the iPad. Come in from the iPad. And we're gonna load up the iPad here. Yeah, shout out to 0 dB. It's a MIDI controller. It's an iPad. I mean got the touchable software, touchable app for iPad, and it's my secret MIDI controller weapon. Also got chord maps version 2 for his MIDI controllers for the iPad and iOS system. But now what we're going to use some audio coming out of the iPad, routed in 24-bit or whatever, digital. I'm going to go to our drum section, and we're going to find something to use, like a good snare. Let's see. Nice thick snare. Let's go with the CR5. Okay. So, I mean CR5K. Let's see if we get something in here that makes sense. So we got a tempo of I forgot how to set the tempo on here, but so got a nice little cheap little pattern in there. We're going to find the snare. Going to turn down everything except the snare. And then let's pick a different pattern. we're gonna sample something out of here. Now, when we're saying sample, we're just like drum sampling. The MIDiMAN doesn't sample anything except drums and individual drum sounds from a drum machine sampler perspective. Not records though. We don't sample any records. We only interpolate. We only interpolate, man. We don't sample. We just interpolate. So, gonna go over here and find a snare out of here. If I can't find it as soon as possible, then we'll find a different. Okay, we found a snare. So I'm gonna isolate the snare. So we have a snare here. I'm just gonna sample that in. It doesn't matter where I sample it at in this beat. We're gonna start recording that snare. It doesn't matter. Now I just hoard this CompuRhythm CR5 iPad app. Now I'm done with it. Bam. Let's go back to Touchable Pro. Greatest MIDI controller in the world for the iPad iOS interface. Shout out to 0dB, Christian. We see you out here. I need that swag, man. Move that swag. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in the snare. Gonna cut it at 0 marker point. Shout out to anybody who's watching right now. My beloved viewers. Go ahead at 0 marker point, clip that joint. Command E. And then Command X. I'm gonna find where the clap is. I'm just going on the we're gonna start copying and pasting, Did something wrong, but copied it too soon. Move that over. Get rid of all these other joints. I'm very meticulous, man. It's gonna be very boring. So if you're bored, get the fuck out of here. It's gonna be very boring. If you want to beat slap right now, this live is not for that. It's for a very technical purpose for you to see how I get down. Shout out to D Love, by the way. I can't really see who's watching right now, but I'll be able to tap in and tune in and see who's watching. So without further ado, So yeah, we back. Just had to take a brief intermission. You know, you're gonna when you're drinking all that wine, you gotta take some time to unwind. So now we got the snares in here. Shout out to everybody. Peace out to we got in here. Peace out to High Lee. Black. I see you. DJ Black. Dumb Dada. My nigga. Then we got Dark Shadow. We got Dark Shadow, Marcus Made Beats in this motherfucker, man. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's tuning in. D-Love, tap back in. I'll see you in about 5 minutes. So with the snare, we're gonna do the same thing that we did to the another pro tip. Another pro tip is that when we go into our options here on audio, I think one of the options I saw on a tutorial is that we do something about the fading. So we want to turn auto fading off sometimes, because what it does is it can reduce dynamics, and it can also mess up the attack of your waveforms if they're separate. So we're going to go into here, and then we're going to go into warps and fades of the preferences in Ableton Live, and say create fades on clip edges, and we're going to turn that off. I just disabled that option. So now these clips, if you zoom in, look at these clips, that clip should not be there. I mean, that fade into the clip should not be there, because I already edited the clip in such a way that it doesn't have any clippiness to it. And so I copied all these snares where they need to be. Oh no, not successfully. Let's see. Let's undo those. Command Z. And then we're going to go here and then go back in here and duplicate, Command D. Here we got them all copied and pasted in there. Should be accurate now. What the hell? Why am I doing that? Why do I keep doing that? What the hell is wrong with me tonight? What's up, folks? What's wrong with me? I'm kind of tipsy, but it's no excuse not to do a procedure. So simple. Something's going on. I didn't do that right. Okay. I didn't do that correctly. So now I did it to the best of my ability. I'm gonna erase these errors, and I'll keep on pacing. Now I think we did that correctly with the copy and paste edit. So now got these samples here, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with the transient warping algorithm in here, or whatever they call it. The procedure. It's really dope what they got here. In my experience, around a value of about 67% on these on that particular edit, transient edit, that works wonders. Any more than that, then it starts truncating it too much, and you just get nothing but the transient hitting. It sounds undesirable. So we're gonna So these claps kind of too loud. So we're going to reduce those again. Go into the waveform here. We're going to reduce the volume, the gain. Then I'm going to scoot them, nudge them back a little bit more by holding down Command and dragging. Then I'm going to do the same procedure again and then reduce the transients. One more time on the claps. Bam. So now we got that done. All right. I'm going to Command J. And what Command J does is kind of consolidates those clips. And then also I'm going to freeze these tracks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten the tracks. And when I do that, it glues all that shit together the way I like it. Turn that snare. So I like to be very meticulous, you know. Oh yeah. We back on. You find a kick. You know, I've been sampling straight in from the iPad. So many options here. But let's go with let me go with some hi-hats. Let's get rid of that palms. It's gonna go back into the Rolly. Fuck around with this, man. Oh. Da, da, da. Da. What note is that? Da. I'm trying to move as fast as possible, y'all. Da. I'm gonna go to my new MIDI channel. Got the new MIDI channel, and then we're gonna go to let's see here. Let's go to our rolling thing that we're paying a subscription fee for. We'll pick D50, man. Why not? Go to rolling D50. So we got the rolling D50 here. And I'll go to chord maps 2. go to the options and send this out to the host. Send the MIDI information to go from this iPad to be played to the host. Now what we're going to do is select IDAM MIDI host output, and then MIDI tracks are going to go respectively. Track 1 chord sound, chord's going to go out the first MIDI track. Chord sound 2 is going to go out the second MIDI track, and so forth. But what I like to do is set everything down to the 16th. Set everything to 16. Set the bass and the chord information MIDI wise is going to be sent. Very powerful instrument, but I'm just going to do it fast. Set all these up. I'm setting up the options. You can't really see it with the small GUI, but yeah. Melody sound 2. Melody sound is going to be on 2. MIDI channel 2. Keyboard display sound is going to be on 2. And then strum sound is going to be on 2. And arpeggio sound is going to be nowhere. So I send everything that's not, I don't want to be triggering the synth and the DAW. I don't want it to be triggered by this iOS MIDI controller. It's phenomenal. Changed my musical life. I like preset number 7. And then we're going to turn it down. We got Fantasia on here, some Fantasia patch. We're going to turn it down a lot. Then I like the iPad as a MIDI controller, man, because it's just wonderful. Gonna get rid of a MIDI track that we didn't need. We're gonna only listen. What's being triggered? All right, so we got everything being triggered. We got everything lighting up. Yo. Yeah, so everything being lit up. From the MIDI control. All right, so I think we're in the key of A. So we're gonna just earball it on key of A. I'm going to Rolly settings, set up to A. That's what I like to do. Set the parameters to A. Line everything up. I like harmonic minor on everything. Has most expression to me. A. Go to A. Go here, set it to A minor. And gonna jam a little bit. Turn these snares up. Save this. Get a quick save in. And it's been an hour yet. Yeah, so stay tuned. To be continued on this. This is just doing the rudimentary stuff to show you how I get down the building blocks. So we're just building bricks. But later on, you're going to see a cohesive track, the other elements involved. But there's a highly technical, a highly technical process involving almost, maybe at least three different operating systems at least. So got the DAW, then we got various other MIDI devices, and we got the iOS. So that's at least two with a very sophisticated layout. We got the Rolly system, we got the iOS system with various MIDI triggering going on. Then we have Ableton Live, and it's all being streamed on broadcast software at the same time. I haven't been involved the other computer yet, but I got some good stuff on there. But stay tuned. We're reaching our cutoff point for a session that's a broadcast. I try to cut it off about an hour, so it can be postable. But stay tuned. This will be continued right after I end this. We'll segment it, start another one. So thank you for everybody who came to check it out. I love you guys. Peace.